So lesson 99 says, salvation is my only function here. How simple. That is the only thing you need to, quote unquote, worry about. Salvation is my only function. And salvation and forgiveness are the same. They both imply that something has gone wrong, something to be saved from, forgiven for, something amiss that needs corrective change, something apart or different from the will of God. What does all that mean? What does all that mean? Salvation and forgiveness are the same. Our mind is so split because we have two thought systems that we're trying to hold on to. We have a thought system of love, and we have a thought system of fear. And we're trying to reconcile the both, which is impossible. Because you were created as a download of the divine, which means that your mind is one with God. But when you think separately from the one mind, you now have a story. It's called linear time. And in linear time, there's suffering because you have identified with your past and everything that's happened to you, you think is you. Or you're worried about the future. So, in truth, you think this world is real because you thought it into being from a separate mind. But really, it's a dream. And the real mind, which is you aligned with the will of God as a download of that greatness, right? Until you know that all the way through your being, you need to forgive the story. And to forgive means to root out the source of the suffering, which is thinking without love. Thinking without your Creator. When you think without your Creator, you are projecting a story. And now you have characters animating themselves on the screen of your life, and you think they're real. So you've externalized the fear in the mind and created images or shadows on the wall. But in truth, the mind has never left its source. And when you connect with that, the story's over. Okay? So that's what it's saying. Because the will of God is you are the beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. Thus do both terms imply a thing impossible, but yet which has occurred, resulting in a state of conflict, seen between what is and what could never be. Let's see what the second paragraph says. It's going to answer that for us. Truth and illusions are both equal now, for both have happened. Why is that? Truth and illusions. The mind that's separate from God believes that's real. The illusion, the world of dreams, the world of illusions. The mind that's not thinking with its Creator identifies with the world of fear. That's a problem. And you keep feeding that world of fear. Okay? But the truth is in you. And the truth is you can never be separate from your Creator, because in truth, the separation never occurred. You are always one with the light. But the fact that you do not believe it creates the shadow. It's all about belief. The impossible becomes the thing you need forgiveness for, salvation from. The impossible is the world of illusion. It didn't happen. It happened only in your mind. Negative thoughts, identification with the body. And when I'm identified with that, I project all of that into the world, and now I have all these characters, my family, my friends, people I like and don't like, all representing or all images of a fear-based thought system because I'm identified with the body. Okay? So it says now, salvation becomes the borderland between the truth and the illusion. So I have to save myself, which means I have to undo, train my mind. I love this book. It's in the beginning. It tells you in the workbook. This is a workbook to help you train your mind, because we have been programmed and conditioned to believe what we believe today. And the beliefs that we have are beliefs like, I'm not good enough. I could never amount to anything. Only they can do that. That's not possible. And there's not enough money. That, I can't. You have been programmed. And so we have to take that thumb drive out of you and plug in a new thought system that's actually always there, but you forgot, right? That the thought system of love exists within you. You forgot that, and you're living the program. And so now we have to save ourselves from that program by letting go of the past, forgiveness, forgiving it. Which means if I get off the timeline of past, present, and future, and I move into the present moment like we did in the meditation, and I'm right here in the realm of possibility, without a story, I'm not identified with anything, then everything is possible because God exists now. Okay? Salvation now becomes the borderland between the truth and the illusion. It reflects the truth because it is the means by which you can escape illusions. And remember, the first line says salvation and forgiveness are the same. So that's the means by which we escape the illusions. And again, we are forgiving our thinking. We're forgiving the thoughts that keep us in fear. I can't, I shouldn't. Oh my God, if we think about Palm Sunday, Jesus on the donkey, representing humility. He was so humbled, and he was sitting in his Christ-conscious awareness. He was maturing in his awareness of the Christ in him, that he was the beloved, riding on the donkey of humility as the grandeur of God, with the palm leaves laid before him as the spiritual path. He was on his way to the temple. What a beautiful message. And that's really what it's saying. We have to remember and grow in our awareness and mature in our awareness that we are Christ-conscious beings, and forgive that linear story that's caught you in time and space. It's like you're lost in time and space. It reflects the truth because it is the means by which you can escape illusions. Yet, it is not yet the truth because it undoes what was never done. Oh my goodness, well that's a confusion. It undoes what was never done. You have never been separated from God. Never. You are always one with this omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence. You are always one with that. So in truth, what you believe has happened has not. So it's saying, it's like, there's another line in the Course in Miracles that says, in the end, forgiveness is not necessary. Why? Because when you're at one with love, and you say to someone, it means nothing. When you wake up to love, anything that happened to you in your story has no more meaning. It doesn't matter anymore. Because you're in heaven, which is a place of peace. Right? How could there be a meeting place at all where earth and heaven can be reconciled within a mind where both of them exist? The mind that sees illusions thinks them real. So the part of your mind that's separate from God, that you believe is separate from God, makes the shadows dancing on the wall real. Right? Thinks it's real. It's like puppets dancing. You made them real by your thoughts, but in truth they're not real. Just thoughts showing up as images on the screen. So then it goes on to say that illusions thinks, the mind that sees illusions, these puppets, these shadows, the mind that thinks these illusions thinks they are real. So you think these shadows on the wall, this fear in your life is real. Okay? And they do have existence in that they are thoughts. They're just thoughts that you projected, because a mind that's separate from its creator is not extending love. It's projecting fear. Oh, that's cool. So everything is in your mind. That's what it's saying. They're real. They have existence in that they are thoughts. And yet they are not real. Because, here it is, the mind that thinks these thoughts is separate from God. So that's what makes them unreal. That's something to celebrate. It's like, okay, good. I'm saved. They're not real after all. What joins the separated mind and thoughts with mind, you notice a capital M, and thoughts with a capital T, which are forever one? What plan could hold the truth inviolate, yet recognize the need illusions bring, and offers means by which they are undone, without attack and with no touch of pain? What but a thought of God could be this plan, by which the never done is overlooked, and sins forgotten, which were never real? It's so beautiful. When you realign, re-identify as the image and likeness of God, a download of the glory, a sunbeam to the sun, the beauty from the beautiful. Wow, when you align with that, and you make all of this your means to awakening. So you look at your past, you look at your story from your 0 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 12. You look at your story on the timeline, and instead of beating yourself up, why did I do that? Why did that happen to me? Why did they leave me? Why did I lose my job? And you see it as a means to awakening. Because you are now with your Father, you're now with your Creator, and you move into this place of deep gratitude and appreciation for your story. Because it got you here, and you're sitting with an awakened heart. You're sitting with a more mature awareness of the Christ in you. And so you don't beat this up. You appreciate your story. You appreciate everything that's happened to you because it got you here. That's what this is saying. How beautiful is that? So we still have to, we've got to get off of beating ourselves up for the past. The ego is so tricky. We give all our power to the ego, and it talks to us like a motor mouth, day in and day out, giving us, you're bad, you'll never amount to anything, you were so bad, you said this, you did it, on and on and on and on. And the minute we start to focus on it, it gets even louder. And yet it's not real. But what if you recognized as this mature Christ light, you recognized this voice, and you were able to say to this voice, do you know who I am? Right? We said this in John 5. Excuse me? Get thee behind me? Do you know who you're talking to? I am the grandeur of my Creator. Be still. That thing would stop. It wouldn't want to, because you would say, you mean nothing. And this is everything. Because the ego, the Course in Miracles says the ego is nothing. And God is everything. So I'm not going to pay a no thing any attention. And I'm going to give all of my attention. And if I talk to people and they are telling me things that make me smile and make me happy, they are vibrating in the Christ light. And if I talk to people who are low, they are vibrating at the level of the body in third dimension. I want to go to fifth dimension consciousness. So I always have to remind myself that God is everything. This consciousness of everything offers me everything. And even though I hear this nothing talk to me, I'm not going to make it something. I'm going to say, do you know who I am? Get back. Jesus said, get thee behind me to Satan. And Satan is another word for evil. So, alrighty. Where was I?
4.
What joins the separated mind and thoughts with mind and thought which are forever one? What plan could hold the truth and violate, yet recognize the need illusions bring and offer means by which they are undone without attack and with no touch of pain? So that's what we're doing. We're just going to recognize the illusions. Standing is everything. We see our story and go, yay, I'm not identified with that story anymore. I'm identified with my Creator, and that story got me here. Hallelujah, praise Him. What but a thought of God could be this plan by which the never done is overlooked and sins forgotten which were never real? The Holy Spirit holds this plan of God exactly as it was received of her, within the mind of God and in your own. That is so powerful. The Holy Spirit is the part of your mind that went with you the minute you forgot who you are. When I forget who I am, the Holy Spirit's still with you. She's like Mother Isis in Egypt. She's always trying to wake you up and remind you that you are the glory, you are the Son, you are the beloved. So even though you think you're in the dark, there's still a spark of light in your mind. That is the Holy Spirit. And she's always connected to the Creator, always. And this is the new paradigm of the birth of that light. That mother's light, the feminine face of God in your mind. It is apart from time in that its source is timeless. The source of the Holy Spirit is eternal, timeless being, God, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, everything. Yet it operates in time. So the Holy Spirit is with us while we're in time and space. The Holy Spirit is in our mind. Because of your belief that time is real. We believe in linear time. And that's why we have to go and struggle to get. That's why when you're one with Spirit, your dream can be made possible in a split second. Because Spirit is in no time and space. But because we are so identified with linear time that we think it all takes time, The Holy Spirit is timeless and eternal, and she exists in your mind as an infinite possibility which exists in every moment that you are open to having miracles happen in your life. It can happen in a New York City. So she's operating in time because of our belief in time. Unshaken does the Holy Spirit look on what you see. She's not bothered by what you see because she knows it's not real. You're all, right? Got your money in the bank and you've invested it and you're hoping the stocks don't drop, and right? And the Holy Spirit's she's there the whole time. And she can see you shaking in your boots. But to her it means nothing. It means nothing. Unshaken does the Holy Spirit look on what you see, on sin and pain and death, on grief and separation, and on loss. Yet she knows one thing must still be true. God is still love. And this is not his will. We talk about this, I think before we went to Abidjan, but a lot when we were at the Casa about free will. We think free will is, well, I'm going to do that because I get to do what I want because I have free will. And in truth, that's not free will. That's just you making a choice that makes you feel good. Free will is when you're aligned with your God-conscious self. You're aligned with Christ in you. Now you are a God-free being. Because there's no struggle in that. Free will is being at one with your Creator. God willed you into being as the beloved Son, right? And gave you free will. But we mix that up. We think free will means making a whole bunch of different choices or moving from different corners of your box. But free will is a beautiful thing. When you're aligned with God and you say, Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? And because you are so aligned, the power comes through you and takes you to where you should be, tells you what you should say, and there's no struggle. That's free will. That's being a God-free being. I like that. Do you like that? It's amazing. It's amazing. This is the thought that brings illusions to the truth and sees them as appearances behind which is the changeless and the sure. This is a thought that saves and that forgives because it lays no faith in what is not created by the only source it knows. The Holy Spirit knows one source. Everything. Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent creator. That's all she knows. She doesn't know anything of this world. She watches us in this world, but is not identified with anything in the world of shadows. She holds true for you that what you forgot. You forgot that you are the image and likeness of God. You forgot that you are a download of greatness, that you have everything in you to be the greatest version of what God created you to be. You have everything inside of you. She knows that. She holds true. She holds that as absolute in your mind too. There's just a little spark there though, because we're still programmed, running the program. This is a thought whose function is to save by giving you its function as your own. Salvation is your function with the one to whom the plan was given. Now you are entrusted with this plan along with her. I like to call the Holy Spirit she, her. She has one answer to appearances, regardless of their form, their size, their depth, or any attribute they seem to have. Salvation is my only function here. God still is love, and this is not his will. You, who will yet work miracles, be sure you practice well the idea for today. Try to perceive the strength in what you say, for these are words in which your freedom lies. Your Father loves you. All the world of pain is not his will. God, there's a wonderful lesson that says, God's will for me is perfect happiness. It's God's will. And if you are not experiencing happiness, you are identified with the body. And lots of teachers will tell you, no, life is supposed to have some pain. Life is supposed to have some suffering. Life does have challenges, but with God all things are possible. And you still have this joyous, all is well feeling in your heart when you work with the Holy Spirit. She makes all things well. All the world of pain is not his will. Forgive yourself the thought he wanted this for you. So we need to forgive that. We need to forgive that we think pain is part of the program. We think that. It's not true. Forgive yourself for thinking that pain and suffering is part of your program. It's not. If we look at Buddhism, the first noble truth, Buddha didn't say life is suffering. Life has suffering. But if I'm aligned with the Holy Spirit, I'm not identified. I have compassion. That's what compassion is. Being able to see with the eyes of the heart, not identified with the so-called pain. It's seeing with compassion and being a source of support, aligned with your Creator. You will experience life very differently. Then let the thought with which she has replaced all your mistakes enter the darkened places of your mind. That thought, the thoughts that never were, as well. Because the thoughts that you think, right? And what you perceive or think you see out here are one. The thoughts you think you're thinking and the images you think you're seeing are one. It's all a dream. So she's saying here, the darkened places of your mind, so that the mind separate from its creator, that's the darkened places of your mind that thought the thoughts. So you were thinking without love. And that was never God's will. God's will is that you extend love. God's will is that you show up as a teacher who demonstrates his creator. Always in a state of extension, extending, giving. Right? This part belongs to God, as does the rest. It does not think its solitary thoughts and make them real by hiding them from Him. Let in the light, and you will look upon no obstacle to what He wills for you. Open your secrets to His kindly light, and see how bright this light still shines in you. Practice His thought today, and let its light seek out and lighten up all darkened spots and shine through them to join them to the rest. It is God's will your mind be at one with His. That's God's will. That you are His beloved Son and that you know Him. How cool would that be if you knew that? You would have such abundance in your life. And I'm not just talking money. We keep, money is energy solidified. But abundance in every area. No jealousy anymore. No fear. No comparisons. No competition. You wouldn't have any of that. Because that's not God's will for you. That's free will. Because now you're not suffering. You're just pure light. Pure love. No defense, no attack. Can you feel how sweet that would be for you? It is God's will that He has but one Son. It is God's will that His one Son is you. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are God's one beloved Son, in whom He is well pleased. For the Catholics, they thought only Jesus could be the one Son. But now we know, with our spiritual maturity, that each of us are the one. We're the one. Think of these things in practicing today, and start the lesson that we learned today with this instruction in the way of truth. Salvation is my only function here. Salvation and forgiveness are the same. Then turn to Him who shares your function here, and let Him teach you what you need to learn to lay all fear aside and know yourself, capital S, as love, which has no opposite. Forgive all thoughts which would oppose the truth of your completion, unity, and peace. You cannot lose the gifts your Father gave. You do not want to be another self. That's a small self. You have no function that is not of God. You think you do. You think you have to be the perfect housewife, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect teacher, the perfect in the world. That's never going to make you feel like you're perfect enough. So you might as well stop trying to be perfect now. And realize that you are down on the perfection. Beautiful. Just the way you are. You don't have to work at being wonderful. You already are. Forgive all thoughts which would oppose the truth of your completion, unity, and peace. You cannot lose the gifts your Father gave. You do not want to be another self. You have no function that is not of God. Forgive yourself, the one you think you made. Whatever function you made up, we all have one. I have to be the greatest English teacher. I have to be the greatest GM. I have to be the greatest whatever. The greatest, facilitator for the Course of Miracles. No. Okay. And we're being asked by the Holy Spirit to forgive yourself the one function that you think you made. No, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to love you. Bottom line. That's it. And the vehicle I choose or that I'm guided to use to fulfill that function is just a sideline. But my real function is to forgive the dream and to love you, to connect with you, to put love first. That's it. How simple. Forgiveness and salvation are the same. Forgive what you have made and you are saved. That's true. Okay, God, I'm going to forgive myself for thinking that I have to be the best person in the world to share the Course in Miracles. I'm going to forgive that function and just come back to love. And the paradox of that will be, I'll be great at what I do because I put love first, right? That's what's most important. Putting love first. Oh, there is a special message for today which has the power to remove all forms of doubt and fear forever from your mind. Who doesn't want that? If you are tempted to believe them true, remember that appearances cannot withstand the truth these mighty words contain. Salvation is my only function here. God still is love, and this is not his work. Your only function tells you you are one. Remind yourself of this between the times you give 5 minutes to be shared with him who shares God's plan with you. Remind yourself, salvation is my only function here. You know, today when you're facing any kind of a stressed situation, where you don't know what to say, or you're caught in the dream, you know, put your hand on your solar plexus, because this is the mental plane right here. This is where we choose, right? You feel it here. If someone's not, they're coming at you, and you feel you want to go at them, you can just place your hand over your stomach and quietly say in your heart, salvation is my only function. That is all you're here to do today. And it will change what comes out of your mouth. Thus do you lay forgiveness on your mind, and let all fear be gently laid aside, that love may find its rightful place in you, and show you that you are the Son